Hello everyone, Darren Cross here. Welcome to MBA 641. This is electronic commerce, and later on you'll understand that this is really an e-marketing class. So I wanted to put out this first video to kind of give you a brief tour of what we have going on here so that I can familiarize you with how this course is going to work and to set you off on the right foot. So if you'll notice here, we're on the course orientation page, and this is the link here on the left. And there are a couple of things here that I want to talk about. The first thing is basically a course that our office has put together to kind of help you understand generalized information about learning online here at McKendree. So things about, the best practices and what tools are available and basically how everything operates here can be found under this link. Okay. Now let's go down to this next part, which we're going to talk about kind of in detail. This next part says what's going to happen each week in each module. And basically, each module is going to be exactly the same. There are a couple of nuances that are going to be different in some of the modules, but I'll let you know ahead of time as we're doing those. But the essence here is that everything about what is required is listed here. Now, I'm going to go to the syllabus just for a second so that I can talk about those deliverables that you're going to have. And this is the same stuff that's represented on the course as well, but let's talk a little bit about them. The first thing is course participation. So since this is an online class, you gain the value of interaction through the discussion boards. So you're not going to be able to talk to people face to face like you would in a traditional class. As a result of that, your discussion board basically is your course participation for an online class. So let's talk about what's required for a successful week of discussion board participation. First of all, you have to make an initial substantive post that addresses the question that I post. So you're going to do that by the third day of the module. Now you'll see here on the syllabus that it says Wednesday, but I want to note that because of MLK, our course starts on a Tuesday this time, and so the discussion for Mod 1, the third day of the first discussion will actually be Thursday. So note that. Now, what is a substantive post? What's happening is I want you to look at the question that I posted. I want you to dig around in the material a little bit, and I want you to form some kind of post with substance that answers my questions. Now, be pretty simple about it. I don't want you to just start adding stuff in there to make this long. I just want to make sure that you have adequately addressed the question that I've posted. Okay? Now, it's very essential that you do that by the third day, because what happens is you're going to have to reply to at least 2 of your classmates' initial posts by the 5th day, and that's the second requirement for your discussion board posts. If people haven't posted by the 3rd day, then that means you won't have anything to post on the 5th day. So one of the things that you'll see on the rubric for discussion boards is that I give you points for posting on time as well. So you have to make sure that you make that first post by Wednesday, and then by Friday make your second post, which is a substantive and thoughtful reply to your to at least 2 of your classmates' initial posts. So go to their initial posts, and then you reply to those initial posts. So just because you have replied to people in a discussion board doesn't mean that that's counting. You have to make sure that you are replying to the initial post of at least 2 of your classmates. Now, let's talk about the quality of your reply. I want to make sure that you have a substantive reply that actually challenges your classmate and advances the conversation. So it's not going to be good enough just to say, hey, Johnny, I agree with you. We do the same thing at my job as well. That's not going to be good enough. What you need to do is to challenge them. So in each of these replies, I'm looking for you to question them. I want you to pose a probing question that actually challenges your classmates. Now, the other thing is I don't want you to simply post a question, or I don't want you to make a comment and say, what do you think about that? A successful reply will be one that first starts with some context and then provides a question. So you'll say something like, hey, Johnny, I read your post. I thought it was interesting how you said XYZ. However, I want to disagree with you on one of those points. I think that perhaps you were a little off on this piece of it. Do you think that if this element was introduced, it would cause a different outcome or something like that? Make sure that you're actually advancing that conversation. You want them to look at your question and to easily reply to what it is that you've actually asked. Then the third part of this is by Sunday, I want you to actually go in and look at everyone who's replied to your initial post and make a response to them. See, it makes it a lot easier if you've asked questions because now people have something that they can actually respond to you by. Now, this is kind of, it's a little bit clunky because a lot of times people don't, they don't reply until Saturday, and there might be some cutoffs. I'm not asking that you reply to everyone, but I want you to really reply to most. So if there's someone who posted on Friday or Saturday, in the first half of the day, I'm expecting that you're actually going to respond to them. However, if someone has posted all of their questions on a Sunday, I'm not going to hold you responsible for replying to them. So that is a successful discussion board week. Then we're going to go into the weekly assignments. The weekly assignments are basically subsets of a major assignment. So let me go back to the course here, and I'm actually going to go into Mod 1, and you'll see how this really is set up here, right? So in the module, you'll see the objectives for that module. You'll see a resource folder. You'll see the discussion board. So that's the first thing we talked about. And then you'll see the assignment. Now, before you get to the assignment, you have to make sure that you've actually gone through the resources. So let's look at what's in the resource folder. And this is the same for each of the modules. So what you'll find in the resource folder are two folders, one that says required reading and one that says videos and presentations. What you'll see in the required reading folder is my instructions on what chapters you actually have to read for that week, as well as any ancillary material that you need to read that's going to be helpful for the discussion board and the assignment that you're going to do for that week. What I want to do now is draw your attention to this template for our assignments. So we were talking about the weekly assignments, and they all are based upon this final assignment that we're going to do. Okay? Now, don't let this intimidate you. This is what your paper is going to look like at the end, but I promise you we're going to do it piece by piece, and it's not going to feel as bad as it looks right now. So what you're going to do, as you'll notice, each of the weekly assignments is basically another component of this paper. So for instance, Mod 1 is going to be this piece. Mod 2 will be from here down to here. Okay, and Mod 3, so on and so forth. So what we're going to be doing is completing another small subset of the paper each week. Okay, so going back to the course here, in that module, that's going to be what this is. So the weekly assignment for that week is going to be that little piece of the major paper that you have due. And then the final thing that you're going to do is in Mod 8, you're going to make the corrections on all of those assignments that you've submitted along the way and address my suggestions that I've had along the way, and you're actually going to just submit the final draft of your paper. Okay, so this basically is everything that you've done. In Mod 8, all you have to do is correct your paper and submit it. If you've done it along the way, which is what I suggest, then life is going to be a lot easier for you. So here's what I suggest as you do this. What you're going to find in each module is everything that I've said here, but each week I'm going to add two things. Let's look at videos and presentations. I'm going to add two things. What you will see above actually this is a little out. I normally have the PowerPoint at the top, but what you'll see above the PowerPoint folder are a couple of videos that you're going to need each week. One will be the lecture video for that module. So I will give you a brief little introduction video that kind of sets you on the right foot for that module and lets you know the important elements of that module that I really want you to pay attention to. Usually it'll be anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes or something like that, depending upon how many chapters we have to talk about and that kind of thing. But it's not really a lecture that you would find in a typical classroom. And then there will be an assignment video. That assignment video is crucial. What you need to do with that assignment video before each assignment, you need to actually watch that video, because in that video I give you a screen capture, just like I'm doing now, of what's necessary. So I'll say something like, hey guys, this is the assignment video for Mod 1. In Mod 1, we're going to cover from here to here, and here's what I'm looking for. And I'll give you some very helpful clues on how to be successful for that module. And you'll notice that I've made the note here, follow the instructions on the template video, the assignment video before you actually do this assignment. And I give you that reminder in each module as well. So make sure you watch those videos along the way. Now here's the deal. I'm recording these videos weekly so that I can make sure that they are current and up to date and that they reflect any changes that we might have along the way. So these videos will be populated before your module begins on Monday. If Monday starts and you don't see those two videos, the lecture video and the assignment video for that module, please let me know and I'll get those things uploaded as soon as possible. There's every likelihood that I overlooked something and made that mistake. So it's my intention to have those up. So if they're not, then something went wrong. Another thing that you'll see in the videos and presentations folder is two folders. One, the PowerPoints for those chapters that we'll be talking about. So you can just download those PowerPoints and go over them. And then also ancillary videos, which are videos that I've pulled from various places that I think provide a little bit more context about the things that we're going to be talking about for that module, or maybe even a challenging view or something like that. But nonetheless, I think it's pretty important. So let's go back here over on the left-hand side. There are a couple of other things that I want to note. First of all, in each module, so if we go back to the main folder for Mod 1, you'll see that you actually can access the discussion board from there. I put it in each module because I want to give you some kind of synopsis as to what's due, and you can kind of feel like you're accomplishing things in the module. But you can also access the discussion board on the link on the left as well. Let's look at the discussion board for a sec. So what's going to happen is when you click discussion board in your module, it'll take you to the spot where all the discussion boards are listed. And you click on the discussion board for that module and then follow my instructions. Okay? So that will help you stay on top of the things that you have to do for each module. You'll also see a link that says MCK Essential Resources, and these are all the tools and things like that that'll be helpful as you complete this course. And finally, you'll see My Grades link. And of course, that takes you to the list of assignments that you have to complete for this class. All the assignments are actually in there now, so you should be able to see that everything totals up to 1,000 points, and you should be able to keep track of everything. I know that sometimes, I'm not sure what professors are doing, but I know that sometimes you can't see all of your points, or maybe, I'm not sure. You should be able to see each of the assignments that you have to do for this entire course, and you'll be able to see the progress as you move through them. Now, let's go to Module 8 just for a second. This is the last thing that I want to talk to you about. Once we get to Module 8 and we complete it, you'll see that the last little piece of that is the course evaluation link. And we'll talk more about that as we go along, but that's an extra element that you'll find in that module. So I think that covers everything. By all means, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to email me. And you'll notice also that on the contact here, I put my cell phone number here. So you can text me as well. And I usually respond a little bit quicker by text. But by all means, reach out if you have any questions. Good luck, everybody.